These are the waiver wire pickups for Week 10. First up is Quinton Johnston. Johnston finished today with 4 receptions for 118 yards and 1 touchdown. He missed the last 2 games with an ankle injury, but he looked good today. He slid right back into his field stretching role, and if he can stay healthy, he should lead the team in targets and in receiving most weeks. He's already up to 4 touchdowns on the year, and he should be rostered in most formats at this point. He also gets a beatable Titans defense this weekend, giving him some plug-and-play potential. The one thing I will mention is to temper your expectations a bit, as these aren't the pass-happy Chargers of years past. Next up is Mike Gesicki. With T. Higgins being out of the lineup the last 2 weeks with a quad injury, Gesicki has seen an increased role. He's caught 12 of 14 targets for 173 yards and 2 touchdowns. Higgins is yet to practice since injuring his quad, and with the Bengals playing on Thursday night, it seems highly unlikely that Higgins will be able to suit up. And even if he does, I would still start Gesicki. They're getting a Baltimore team that's allowed the most passing yards per game. Number 3 on the list is Demarcus Robinson. In the 2 games that Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp have returned to the lineup, Robinson has been on a tear, catching 8 passes for 129 yards and 4 touchdowns. It seems he's better suited to play in a complementary role, as he's seen the 3rd corner on the opposing team's defense, and today Puka Nacua did get ejected, which helped his cause, but even when Nacua comes back next week, he should continue to have some WR3 juice. Number 4 on the list is Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Ikhine has quietly scored in 4 straight games, and even though he's only seen 4 targets per contest over that span, he has improved his receiving yardage in each of those weeks. DeAndre Hopkins is no longer on the team, so he should have somewhat of a stable floor moving forward. It appears as though he may be emerging as the number 2 option behind Calvin Ridley, and even on a lackluster offense, I would still consider picking him up as a touchdown or bust option in most formats. Number 5 on the list is Xavier Legette. Legette scored for the 2nd week in a row, and this has coincided with Bryce Young being reinserted into the lineup. And in those 2 games, he's caught 8 passes for 67 yards along with those 2 scores, giving him some low-end flex appeal. With Deontay Johnson being traded to Baltimore last week and Adam Thielen yet to see the field, I think Legette may have some decent rest of season value. There's also rumor that Thielen may be traded, and if that were to happen, that would only stabilize Legette's floor. At this point, he's pretty much touchdown or bust, but if you're thin at receiver, I would strongly consider picking him up. Number 6 on the list is Ray Davis. Ray Davis just continues to make the most out of his opportunities. Today he saw 6 touches, and he took them for 90 yards and 1 touchdown. And over the last 4 weeks, he's been the RB24 in PPR, averaging 12.5 points per game. He's one of the best handcuffs in the league at this point, and even though he's proven that he can handle a larger workload, his value will be capped so long as James Cook is healthy. Number 7 on the list is Demario Douglas. Douglas has proven that he can be a viable low-end option in PPR whenever Drake May's in the lineup. He finished today with 7 receptions for 35 yards on 9 targets. He does only have 1 touchdown on the year, so he's really only meant to be picked up in deep PPR leagues, but hopefully he and May can continue to build chemistry and improve in that area. Number 8 on the list is Parker Washington. It appears that Washington will have the first crack at filling in for the injured Christian Kirk. Over the past 2 games, he's caught 6 of 10 targets for 87 yards. He also has a very active role in the return game, so if you're in a league that gives you points for return yards, I would strongly consider picking him up as a low-end option. He should continue to play a full complement of snaps, and he has a decent chance to overtake Gabe Davis as the number 3 pass-catching option on this team behind Evan Ingram and Brian Thomas Jr. Number 9 on the list is Trey Benson. Benson has definitely had a slow start to his rookie year, mostly because James Conner has been playing well and has been healthy, but Benson has also struggled with his vision. But it appears he might be turning the corner. He finished today with his best game as a pro, taking 9 touches for 55 yards and 1 touchdown. And over his last 3 games, even though the sample size is small, he's averaged over 5 yards a carry, and he has looked pretty explosive. He's also one of the better handcuffs in the league, and if you happen to have an open roster spot, he's a great stash. Number 10 on the list is Keaton Mitchell. Mitchell is pretty much a stash at this point, but I think he's one that could pay off down the stretch. He's coming back from a torn ACL, and he's been practicing in full. And as we saw last year, even in a limited role, he was pretty productive. He's likely to be eased back into action and will be capped by Derrick Henry and even Justice Hill to a lesser degree, but I do expect him to have a role down the stretch nonetheless. Those are the waiver wire pickups for Week 10. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and let me know which players you think we should pick up in the comments below.